In this session we have Coco. In this particular session I'm doing some clicker conditioning, and I'm using her food, which she loves. Her food, she has a mixture of cooked food and kibble, and that's her regular food. And all I'm doing here is I'm just pairing up that with a clicking sound, which I'm going to use periodically here and there. Now this is the very first time she's been introduced to this exercise, and you're going to see here very typical with a lot of dogs. They're sometimes a little bit weird about climbing on a surface that is not that solid. Now I'm not feeding her by hand. What I'm doing is I'm putting the food on the bed to get her to not focus on my hand as much. But I am occasionally going to feed by hand, but primarily if I'm going to reward on the bed, that's one great strategy, is to put the food on the bed. Unless, in this case what I'm doing here is I'm rewarding her off of the bed to let her know, hey, you got on it, and that's all I need you to do, and then you can get paid. So now, as you can see here, the training is the session is progressing. She's getting a little bit more comfortable compared to just seconds ago, and we're gonna go back and forth. The emphasis here is mostly on frequency, meaning we get on, we get off, we get on, we get off, we get on, we get off. And that's just to make the exercise familiar to her. I'm not going to focus on duration just yet, but I'm going to here in a moment. Right now, the emphasis is on just touch the bed and then get off the bed. Touch the bed and then get off the bed. There you go. So now that's the way I wanted it. Now she gets paid. And then again and again and again. This is a training session. Those two videos, the one with the clicking and this one, these are two long videos. So putting them together, it would just be like an 18-minute video. So I'm condensing it, and as you can see here, I'm speeding it up just to illustrate. The training session is mostly that, over and over and over, a lot of the same thing over and over and over. And that's how a lot of dogs will become familiar with the exercise, just by frequency, over and over, and a lot of boring repetitions. Boring for us, but very important to them. So now I'm working on duration and distance. So now I'm implying a little bit more of, you need to wait there until I release you. But she has been released the entire time. So when I release her, I'm telling her free. When she's on there, she's being told to go to place. And unless she gets released, she has to stay there. So when she gets off, which it's reasonable, she is just learning this, all I'm doing is I'm putting her right back on it when she gets off, before she hears that release command. I'm doing really well with that distance, duration, and some distraction. Again, speeding it up just for the sake of illustration, just for the sake of keeping the clip relatively short. So she's already picking up, she's already starting to understand the concept. A little bit of extra distraction, and she's doing pretty well. So really happy with how this session turned out. And one more. Perfect.